Books and neckties. I told you.
Because your answer is always, "Oh, it doesn't matter. I don't want anything." Like women know what they want.
Women
Yeah.
say what they
Oh,
want, and they
oh, no,
tell you
oh,
6 months leading up. They don't care about budgets. They'll be like, "Yeah, I want diamond earrings." You're like, "Yo, mom, diamond earrings? Like, we can't do something more reasonable." You got siblings.
it's our fault.
Yeah, this is
You,
You saw
it's
that. You
your
saw how
fault if
quick.
you don't
You
know
saw how
what you
quick that
want.
changed on
Yeah, that
y'all.
is your fault.
the
That
women out here
changed
No,
quick.
victim blaming.
no. You got to understand what we're saying is we're acknowledging that a lot of times men don't ask for a lot, and so what we're saying is when it comes to gift buying, which I'm going to get into all this, but when it comes to gift buying, and this is just in general, I have 4 brothers, I have really close, great guy friends. Unless you're around them and really picking up on all the little things that they say, men don't often tell you like, "Yeah, I was really looking at these sneakers." You got to go in there like, I yeah, these seem like his style, but damn, what's his size? Okay, it's not the same. Women will tell you all day, "I like flowers. I like this. I want that." It's just different.
So you're saying you guys don't pay as much
It
attention
is.
to us as we pay to y'all?
No, that's not what
She
I'm saying. What
literally
I'm
just said
saying
women
is,
tell
no,
you. She
listen.
literally said they tell you, and you said we don't pay attention.
Right.
That's not paying
Yeah.
So
attention.
So
listen.
why do we
So
have to
listen.
tell?
So
Well,
listen. Even
hold on. We finna get into it. We finna get into it. See, look, I love this topic already. Y'all are the best. So it's 10:05. Let's get to actually 10:06. Let's get the room started. Welcome to the Monday morning marketing meeting. I'm your host, Nick Love. Like me, love me, follow me here on Fanbase. We do this call every single Monday, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on this app. Shouts out to Isaac. It's up here at the top for granting us this platform, to always, make the most of this thing. Let me make you a moderator, sir. And where's my boy Gary at? That is unlike him to be. There he is. Look at that. I'll talk to him up. Get him up here on this stage. Come on up here, Gary. Um, as the call implies, we talk about marketing, strategies, ideas, concepts, things to get your creative juices flowing for the week, for the day, the week, the month, and the remainder of this year. We are midway through June. The first 6 months of 2025 are like, coming to a close, man. So I hope this first half of the year has been good to y'all, and I hope y'all are, kind of preparing for the second half. Luckily, I don't have to do this call by myself. I'm joined by some of my smart, amazing, brilliant, funny, beautiful, handsome, just incredible people that I have on this stage. So shouts out to them. Show them some love. Follow them. Make sure you are all tapped in with them because they are like so fucking smart, and I'm glad to have them on this call. And y'all don't have to listen to me for an hour straight just talking. And shouts out to everybody in the audience too as well. Man, I see Dre Davis down there. What up, Dre?
He just had a
Darlene,
birthday
shouts out
too.
to you. Yay, there it
Another
is. King
Gemini. His
politician.
birthday was Father's Day and his birthday.
Look at that. Look at that. Yeah, shouts out to our regulars down there in the audience, man. So Left Field, Danny Marie, Queen Mo, Damon, Ty. What up, y'all? Before we get into today's call, Isaac, any updates on fan base we need to know about?
We just working. I can't tell y'all. I'm just we working on the algorithm and simplification, but it's moving very well. So
Hey, good enough for me. I love it. I love it. So today I want to talk about the marketing of Father's Day. For all of y'all who jumped on early, you heard some of the banter back and forth about today's topic. Disclaimer: my Father's Day was fucking amazing. I had an incredible Father's Day. My kids
where did it go?
that started on this past Tuesday at my house, and we kind of finished it up. My parents came over, they got involved. Like it was cool. Like I would on another day, I'll get deeper into kind of what our conversation was, but it was like it was real cool, real personal, uh, real reflective in terms of where my kids are individually, where I am, and just kind of how I see things with in family life, and it was just good, man. Like I really, really, really enjoyed it. And I actually asked for a couple of gifts. I actually went so far as to even make a little Amazon wish list and was like, here goes some stuff that ain't that expensive. Get me this. And I actually got some of the stuff that I asked for. So my Father's Day was 10 out of 10. So I have zero complaints. Um, but what made me pick this topic today was for a couple of things. One, because it's timely. Two, we all know the reputation and the stigma that's kind of around Father's Day. And I don't know if you guys saw Plies make a post on IG, but Plies was saying that he was on tour and he went to a hotel and he was asking the lady like, y'all got any rooms available? He was worried about the rooms being sold out and worried about getting like reservations to restaurants in the area because I guess he was in a city I guess he wasn't familiar with or hadn't been to before. And the lady was looking like, what are you talking about? Like, we have plenty of rooms and I don't know why the restaurants would be booked up. What's happening? And he was like, Father's Day. And that lady looked at him like, what are you talking about? And so he was like, see, this is what I mean. And it was all jokes and laughs. I mean, he wasn't taking it too seriously, but he was just saying, fathers just kind of get that afterthought kind of a treatment. You know what I'm saying? Like the moms get the big, roses, big bouquets of flowers, balloons. The restaurants are filled. If you want to eat on Mother's Day, if you wait to the last minute, you're either going to eat at 9 o'clock in the morning or 9 o'clock at night. Ain't no prime time slots, can't get in nowhere. It's specials, it's commercials, all of that. And fathers don't tend to get the same. So today I want to talk about how we even build a campaign and market Father's Day even in a similar vein as Mother's Day. Is it even possible? Can it be done? And what do we do to kind of create that sentiment and that urgency and that same like vibe around Father's Day that we do for Mother's Day? So I'll let Alita. I know Alita was talking, Isaac was talking, Askia was talking. Everybody was kind of talking, before we got the call officially started. But I'm gonna let y'all just jump back into it. Like,
Can I
what do
go
we do?
first? Can I go? Can I
for
go
it.
first? Because mine isn't really like anything we can do. I want to first say I think there's a reason why Mother's Day is marketed more, and that's the importance of moms. I mean, they are like the center of the home, and so I understand and respect and acknowledge Mother's Day for the holiday that it is. I think fathers are providers and they're protectors, uh, but mothers are the heart of a family, and so I understand why so much love and attention is put towards women that go through childbirth, raise kids, deal with a lot of the things that fathers don't have to deal with because they typically see their children on a daily basis, and dads tap in when they can. So I understand why that holiday is marketed so much. I don't think that Father's Day and Mother's Day should be even, if we're being honest.
Oh, really? Why?
Because moms, I mean, in my life, I just recognize my father was a provider, and there's something to be acknowledged about that. But the actual protection and rearing and nurturing a lot of the time comes from moms, and so that's the reason why. I mean, I'm not saying it needs to be like 0-100 difference, but Mother's Day is definitely a lot more um, important. I think, especially to like I said, a lot of children who spend a lot of time with their moms. I just see moms in action. I see dads in action, but moms be out here going through it.
I think that's kind of a hot take for you to say that it shouldn't be marketed equally, given the kind of what you provided as the roles, right? But if, by you saying dad's provider, protector, mom is doing the rearing, I feel like if we assign, I feel like there's value in both. I don't know that I would. I don't know. Also, to your point, though, I will ask the room this: do we feel like Mother's Day is marketed more because they think that the men around it will spend the money to do the thing versus marketing to the women to spend the money on the men? Do we think there's a financial incentive to market the way that it's marketed?
Absolutely.
100%.
Absolutely. I mean, you have to look at anything with marketing. Women, even when men spend money, probably what, 50, 60% of the time, men are doing things because they want to do something for a woman, get the attention of a woman. They're providing something for a woman. So, yeah, that's definitely a key. But I think it's like several parts of this. One, I'll go back to the gift giving. A lot of times, and this is just in general, men will not openly just blatantly say what they want. It'll be like, oh, I like sports, or oh, I like trips and travel, whatever. So now you're sitting there like, okay, well, do I buy him luggage, or does he want to buy his own luggage? Do I buy him this? Do I buy him that? Women do not hesitate to tell you what they want. So that alone, when we're talking about marketing directly to kids and wives and whatnot on gifts, is not as streamlined. I'm not saying that fathers shouldn't get gifts. Absolutely. You're a great dad. You should absolutely get something to celebrate you in that day that fits you, because each man is going to be different. Some men might say, buy me a hotel room. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Others might say, hey, set something up that I like to do. Second, I would say a lot of times, well, not even a lot of times, when you look at the marketing and what Isaac pointed out, which was the holidays, Mother's Day, Christmas, New Year's Eve, I think fathers are more insulted by the fact that they don't walk into the store 3 weeks prior to their holiday and see all these rollouts, right? Because moms get to see it a month, 3 weeks before the holiday. It's flowers and balloons, a whole hour worth of cards. Every commercial is talking about, are you doing this for Mother's Day? I think what has happened is brands are not investing in that space because they're not going to see the same turnaround on sales, but also it's such a mixed conversation around dads just in general in society that they have not taken enough time to shift that image when they put out commercials, when they put out billboards. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, they would want to have to back it for it really to see a swing.
Yeah, I
I
would.
think that things
So
have
hold on, I
changed.
totally agree with that, Alita. And we talked about the conversation around it. I've seen bad moms get cards and celebrate it on Mother's Day. A bad dad, a good dad might not get shit. So a bad dad absolutely don't get shit. But a bad mom still might get a little grace and be like, Mom, I know you was going through hard times and you couldn't do this, you couldn't do that, you couldn't be here, you couldn't be there, and struggled here, struggled there, but I'm still, look out for you because it's Mother's Day. A bad dad, man, get the fuck out my face.
No, I think the marketing around like fathers and mothers have changed. And I think like sometimes we just get used to what we're used to. Like I've seen so many reposts yesterday about like how millennial dads are way more involved than dads of the past. So I've also seen stuff about like toxic moms and toxic masculinity to where people are refuting exactly what you said. Like if a bad mom is a bad mom, we need to call it out. So I think like we're just used to saying, oh, dads aren't celebrated. I do see a lot of marketing in the stores now for Father's Day. Maybe not as far out as Mother's Day, but definitely. And I get marketing emails just like when Mom's Day, like, hey, do you guys want to receive these Father's Day email? Yes or no. So I think like we're just used to saying fathers aren't celebrated. I think they're way more celebrated now than in the past.
I didn't see one email about Father's Day, and I saw minimal stuff.
I can
I mean, from
screenshot
the
some of
mall.
mine and send it to you.
No, I mean, I don't need the screenshot. What I'm saying is, if we're talking about a mass global marketing thing, then that should be something that most people on this call can speak to seeing. So, yes, certain things could be individualistic, and maybe if you have purchased things on Father's Day or with certain brands for men and whatnot, you would get that more. But if we're looking at this across the board and we're talking about in a mass marketing sense, it's still very minuscule.
So, hold up. Somebody else, was it Skia? You was going to say something?
No, I was gonna say I just saw that ad that Chick-fil-A gave away free breakfast yesterday for fathers.
That was
I
Yeah.
got
hilarious.
stuff from Miel. And it might be just like a brand like that I know that has men and women's product. I can understand that, but I think there is a shift, was what I'm saying. I don't think it's there. It's definitely not there where Mother's Day is, but I don't think it was, the same place 5 years ago either.
I agree with that. I do think we're starting to see a turn, but let me ask y'all this: when it comes to the marketing of that turn, right? Does that turn into just less promo, or like you said, when we were talking about the bad moms and the bad dads, does that turn start to equal less stuff for moms or more things for dad, or does it just kind of play itself out?
Mom is always gonna get gifts. That's without a doubt. So no, that ain't. I don't see that changing. I mean, I think again, I think we're talking about two sides of marketing, right? So we're talking about what's put in front of us, and then what's coming from the person who would be getting celebrated. So if we're only talking about out in public, then that's on the brands. That's not on us, because the brands put stuff in front of us and then we decide how much of it we want to consume and how we want to consume it. Like even when you look at store boycotts and all of that. So if we're talking about that, that's on them. They have to put the money behind it in order for people to want to consume it more, to think about it more. I mean, even to your fact, there's a lot of people who were like, "Oh, Dad, this is Father's Day weekend." So that's a missed mark if they're not spending the money 2-3 weeks a month ahead of the holiday.
Hey Nick,
Yeah.
Yo,
I looked up the top 10 things that fathers want for Father's Day based on retail trends and behavioral insights. Number one is quality time. Two is tech gadgets. Three is peace and quiet. Four is grilling and cooking gear. Five is sports related gifts. Six is experiences over stuff. Seven is clothing and sneakers. Eight are tools and home improvement gear. Nine is subscription services. And 10 are handwritten note or art from the kids. So there's not much to market by way of men. I mean, tech gadgets, yes, grilling and cooking, sports related stuff, clothing and sneakers, tools. I think so. But yeah, that's interesting that there's stuff to market. There's an opportunity there to market. Now I will say this because I don't do this a lot, and my birthday was last week, so I got gifts, but I got gifts that were also not necessarily things that I would have bought myself. But when I got them, I appreciated them. One thing I ain't gonna lie, I got a hydrofacial. That was awesome. Like stuff like that, like men really don't like getting pampered. Like that never like I ain't never got no facial before, right? Or whatever like that. So that was it was a great gift. It was something that I really appreciated and it was really relaxing. I was like, wow, people do this. It was like, oh my God. It was just amazing. But I think those types of things in marketing Father's Day are maybe things that experiences and stuff like that that you can give a father, not necessarily over something material, because most of the time, what what I tend to do all the time, and my family complains about this, is I buy the things that I want. So nobody ever gets to buy me anything because I buy the wallet or I buy the whatever, and then they be like, "Bro, we don't know what to get
yep.
your ass because you done bought it already." So experiences,
Somebody just said that in the
yeah,
chat.
yeah.
Yep.
So
So, so what, like, Nick,
So let me ask you this, Isaac. Well, I'm sorry, Gary. I want to cut you. Let me ask you this because you spoke to something earlier. As dynamics change and dynamics shift, right? As moms are the, or at least as that's what we're being told statistically, women are starting to out earn the men. Work more than the men. The employment rate is more than the men. So if it shifts, and the women are the the breadwinners and the money earners, and the men are at home, does it shift then?
no, because
If we're going with the provider versus the nurturer, if the roles shift,
Yeah, well,
does the
I don't
card buying and the gift giving shift?
I don't think so because it's such a core to Western society about how like the men are the financial foundation, even if women make more money. And it's always that funny phrase that like your money is my money and my money is my money that women say. So like your money's our money and then my money is my money for women. That's a joke that goes around. So I think that behavior is hard to change. And I don't mind it. Again, I'm not a dad, I'm not married or anything like that, but I understand that um there's a responsibility, there's an economic and financial responsibility that you have as a father that I don't think should ever change regardless of what a woman makes, you know what I'm saying, unless it is necessary to the partnership of a marriage, and maintaining a household. And that should be something that should really be considered. But if you have it and it's not something that's like you don't need it, but if you're being strategic about building wealth, then yeah, then contribute together. But if it's not really an issue, then I don't see an issue with it.
not to ruffle any feathers, but do you think that's culturally too? For instance, one of my friends has a light skinned wife, and I feel like she did stuff that I thought was more like what a mother would have got, or like a real holiday, like that stuff I never seen before for a father.
What has skin color got to do with it?
What I said is culturally though, you know what I'm saying, like if versus a white woman or a black woman, and how they treat a
Light skin
man.
or white?
That's what I call. That's what I say sometimes.
Oh, so
But
she
like,
was what? Oh,
There's a
okay.
difference.
Yeah, because when you said light skin, I was like, what? What? Oh, so
yeah,
you
no, I just
okay? She's saying a white. Okay, so a white woman. So she did a lot more for her husband. Well, see, that speaks to that speaks goes back to like foundationally, I think there's wealth contained within a lot more wealth contained within white families and the opportunity to give gifts and do stuff like that. Like that's different. We got to understand that too. Like the opportunity, I know a lot of people that aren't black, but when they get married, maybe white kids, they get $50,000, $100,000 checks from the mom and dad to go get start a home and all that kind of stuff. It ain't really like that always in the black community, and so I think there's that distribution of wealth offers the opportunity for women to do more. And money doesn't mean as much to that community as it does to us. So there's a different relationship that we have with money than other people do. And that's just I've seen that in the behavior. So being a dad, it's like I said, it's just it's a responsibility that I think there should be other ways that fathers can be celebrated, and there are opportunities to market that. I just think that nobody's really thought of doing it or understand and it's unfortunate because anything done to market Father's Day is really done out of the sense of how can we capitalize financially off of it? Not that we really care about dads, but so it's not like there's gonna be a Father's Day special. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's not about to do that. So until people really want to do something for fathers just because they're dads and it's not really an agenda behind it, then that's probably gonna have to change first. Somebody's gotta want to do it.
I
I have
think
a
men
question for
also
the
have to market to men. Like it was before, just do your work, don't ask for nothing, things like that. And to market to each other now, hey, you have needs, you have wants, you have to be able to express what you need and want from people so they can provide it for you.
I have a question for
Yeah.
the dads in the room. What would you want marketed to us to promote celebrating you guys? Like what would you want marketed?
I think
The
like
F one fifty.
even like with Ike's uh, example about his birthday, right? I think what he appreciated the facial, obviously, right? But I think what he really appreciated even more than the facial is the person taking time out to think of that and do that for him. And I think with men, like you said, maybe we don't tell you enough. I think a lot of women might even think that was weird if we was like, I want this for my birthday. I don't know how women would really receive that, but I think what men just like to feel like there was some thought put into it. And it could be small, it could be a big thing. It doesn't have to. It's not about the amount of the gift, but it's about the thought. And I think that's how you market it. Like think of him on Father's Day or whatever, something like that.
Hey, I think we got to stop saying shit like that. Like, it's not the amount of the gift; it's the thought. Like, women don't do that. Women,
Exactly.
women be
Thank
like,
you,
nah,
man.
That's
niggas,
exactly what I
what
just said.
spend so much. So, like that. I'm agreeing with y'all. Spend this money. Get me this bracelet. Get me
And
this.
don't count our pockets. Don't count our
Exactly.
pockets. If we can go get the money for mom, and if you're a dad that's deserving, then let us go pull it together how we would put it together. And that's our point. Like, and again, I'm speaking as someone who has a lot of men in my life that I value. And so, yes, I listen to conversations and whatnot, but everybody, men and women, are not good at taking category on people. So when you're thinking about oh, it's not just a gift or it's an experience or whatnot. Think about what Isaac said. Somebody gifted him a facial. I know plenty of dudes be like, I don't go do stuff like that, and you'd be like, bruh, I'm just trying to. I thought this would be nice for you. It's one of those things where we need to open up the space of in general, not just in commercials, not just on social media, in general conversation, men being more expressive about things they're open to and also remaining open or letting people around them know, I'm kind of down just to try stuff or whatnot. Because outside of the men who literally buy themselves anything, which is like most of my brothers, I always have to weasel my way into getting them creative gifts because they got what they need.
And it could be thoughtful to say, like, hey, he needs new socks, he needs new underwear. That is something that you notice. But if that's not what
yeah.
you like, then tell me,
Man,
like
you gonna
men
start.
and women.
Yeah,
No, everybody needs to be more. If
but
somebody is not doing something for you that you want them to do for you, then you have to let them know. You can't just keep saying, "Well, you need to guess." Well, you need like that's not fair to the person.
Yeah,
well, yeah,
but I think you just nailed it. Like you said, he's got what he needs. He got what he needs. But
yeah,
we don't approach Mother's Day like I'm going to get her what she needs.
yeah.
I'm going to get her
So
with something that she like. I
Do
think
y'all
she
not have
would
a cheat
like.
sheet though with Mother's Day with the kids and whatnot? Is that not part of the cheat sheet?
Say,
well,
say it again.
Is there not part of? Is it not kind of like a cheat sheet, right? In a way, if we're speaking of Mother's Day and you're talking to the kids, because I know in my household it was, yo, what your mama want? They just come straight to you, get the cheat sheet, they go get whatever you told them, and then
well,
mom's sitting there like, woo.
well. See, it's the thing that y'all been talking about culturally. It's never been okay for a man to voice, what he wants. Like so. I think with regards to the marketing of, Father's Day and fatherhood, I think there needs to be a campaign that it kind of leads along the line of, well, what does he want for his birthday, or what does he want for, you know what I'm saying? Like kind of the same, they give you that same soft voice for the Zales commercials. What does she really want for Mother's Day or for her birthday or for anniversary?
Have you thought about Dad
For
this
sure.
year?
What does
You
he
should pay
want?
attention to the things he wants when he's not cutting the grass, when he doesn't take off his work shoes. Get him something unrelated. Okay, I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that.
At the end of the day, because my birthday is on, it's like Isaac said, like we're both like, so, but my birthday is next Monday. But the thing about it is, people are constantly, so is your birthday coming up? But it's like, nigga, I feel ridiculous even trying to think about making, oh, it's my birthday week. Like, it feels ridiculous. It's not culturally, it doesn't feel appropriate. You know what I'm saying? So, like, there needs to be a cultural softening with regards to that mindset overall, where niggas feel okay, like being like self-caring, you know what I'm
And what
saying?
I'm
Like
saying
people,
is, you all have to put it out there so that people can do it. The same way how women have been forceful and like, hey, don't talk to me like this, don't do that. I'm not saying you all have to be forceful in it, but what I'm saying is, we're
yeah,
acknowledging that space has not been fostered, that space has not been there, but we don't get there if we don't start just having a
yeah,
general
but you
conversation.
You
also
know, you know what's gonna happen right after that, though, right? You know what's gonna happen right after a man voices of how he wants to be treated,
What's
and
exactly
it's
that?
that,
like he's gonna
oh,
get called
What's gonna
sassy.
happen?
you
He
feel
gonna
what I'm
get
saying?
called sassy.
But
Right.
He gonna get
I
Who
called
think
gonna
I
say
sassy.
think
that?
we're
Man,
seeing
He
because
a
gonna
you
get
know
called
who
trend in
weak.
not to
that.
Oh,
deal
oh,
with.
You
but
what kind of man wants to get pampered on Father's Day? That's
so,
sassy.
No, but okay, but hold on, Isaac. To
hear
your
me out.
What
point,
you want? You want flowers? You want dinner on Father's Day? That's
Isaac,
sassy.
Isaac.
Then
To
why did you
your
pick that
point,
woman?
we
But you,
have to give
but
women the
you one
space
day.
and give them room to make the pivot and adjustment to accept that. All women aren't going to do that. I love my brother and I were having a conversation the other day, real quick, and he mentioned that he would love to go see LeBron James play, but he would want to be courtside. He doesn't even know he put in the back of my mind a gift I'm working on for his birthday that's all the way in December. But had he not even mentioned anything of the sort, I would have never known that was a thing.
But it's got to be a safe space. You have a safe space with your brother. But culturally, it's not a
Also,
safe
I think
space for us to do that. And I think with regards to that change, it has to be a woman-led campaign. So just like with regards to protect black women, it can't be black women themselves leading that campaign for protection. It got to be y'all. Y'all as men have to lead the campaign. Like, yes, you're right. We as men have to lead the campaign for protection for y'all. So with regards to that, it has to be the reverse. It has to be a woman-led campaign. Like Beyonce, cater to you. Play that song more.
Oh, snap!
Yeah,
Oh,
You know,
Hold on, but cater
oh,
to you
Gary's.
and
oh,
dad go.
Gary,
I
Gary,
don't think cater
Gary,
to you and
Gary
dad go
dropping
hard the
bars.
same way.
Gary, Gary
but
came
she's
to
the
talk
only
today.
one that's ever made
I
a
love
song
it.
like that, and they act like it's not on the playlist at all.
that
Like,
actually that actually be the Father's Day anthem. Cater to you should be the Father's Day anthem. Right there, there's a marketing moment.
But
That
how
should be
does
the
that work
father.
with the kids, though?
What you mean?
Hold on, guys.
see,
Hold on, guys. We're at the midpoint. Actually, we're a few minutes past the midpoint. Gary, I want to start bringing up people from the audience that want to contribute to the conversation. So if you have any questions you want to ask or anything you want to contribute to the conversation, please raise your hand. Gary's gonna get you up on stage. Go back in though. Who I think it was the leader or Gary. Who was talking
Oh,
just a
I
second
have
ago?
something.
Go for it.
So I think that companies, because I mean, we see Zales and Jared and A lot of these companies promote how they market Mother's Day, and it's always to their emotion, to their love, to their caring. And as someone mentioned on the call, more dads are involved in their child's life than previous generations. So I think that companies could highlight like dads who stay at home, the girl dad, like self-care dads, the LGBTQ plus dads, trans fathers who are in their children's lives and making a difference, and highlight that emotional side for dads that are in their kids' life, instead of just tech and toys and stuff, and start highlighting how men are emotional beings in their kids' lives.
Actually, the girl dad thing I'm surprised that with the passing of Kobe Bryant, that a lot more companies didn't lean into the girl dad thing. Like, I'll see it on social media, but again, that's amongst other dads. My guy New Face, I don't know about people that are not from Atlanta. I don't know if y'all know New Face, but he's become quite the staple around Atlanta in terms of just being a hip hop historian. He was everywhere. But he's a girl dad, and he constantly is tagging me and other like guys that are in the music business and kind of just Atlanta tastemakers that are like girl dads. He does that a lot. Like, he's like, when he sees functions that are going on year round, not just Father's Day, but he'll be like, hey man, there was this thing at Piedmont Park that they were doing for girl dads, or did you see this rapper just post a thing about him and his daughter? Like, he just constantly does it. And I think the girl dad thing is a big miss. Like, companies are really missing the mark by not leaning into that. Like, that's a soft spot and an easy marketing trick to lean into for both for the daughters and the dads.
When you think about what men actually want, we're so used to, like, I think Alita was saying how she's working on getting tickets for her brother for the basketball game. Like, men are so used to, in their mind, just filing away the things that they want to achieve or they want to buy or they want to accomplish. And that's why they don't. Because typically the things that they want are highly ambitious and cost lots and lots of money. And I don't expect anybody to buy me a car or buy me a house or, buy something really, really expensive. And I think men set larger goals, like a boat. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want a boat. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. I don't think that men expect, the women in their lives to buy them boats and cars and, and big screen TVs and stuff like that. That could be a little bit pricey.
I just want to say to Gary's point, women started the campaign and told men this is what we need y'all to now take over.
But it's okay for women to do that.
It's okay for men to do it too. And if there's a woman in your life that doesn't allow you to do that, then get her out of your life. That's the thing. You have to set the boundaries for yourself.
I mean, culturally, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's okay for women to like, again, catered, like, everything's catered. Like, women are raised to feel like princesses until they're married, where they are upgraded from princesses to queens. Like, the whole theme is to be taken care of your entire life. That's why you're
But if y'all never start, it'll never start. Like, you have to start somewhere. You can't just say it's always been this way, it always has to be that way. Like, y'all have to start somewhere.
But
Oh, y'all not going to stop that. You're not going to stop women.
Exactly. The
Young
one
girls think that they're princesses and queens. That's not
No,
going
I
nowhere.
think she's saying
No, I'm
the
talking
men gotta
about
start.
men's treatment.
Yes,
If
I think
men want to
she's saying
be
gotta
treated
start
a
there.
certain way, you have to start telling people
I
how you
get it.
want to be treated. And then, yes, it might be
Yes.
I mean,
culturally one way, but you have to start somewhere. Or
But
we'll
if
be
men
we,
having
start
this
calling each other
conversation
king.
again next year.
Men
y'all,
call
Men
each
do
other
call each
king,
other
though.
kings. Men
yeah,
do
Women don't
call
really
each
be
other
calling men
kings.
king like that. Like, men be calling each other king like that. I don't see a lot of women calling men kings. You know what
but
I'm saying?
So I have a question, Isaac. This one's more so directed to you because you have fan base, and as somebody who bought original investment stock in it, what can fan base do next year to help market Father's Day?
That's a good question. And I think we need to figure that out. I mean, you see, from the app perspective, I mean, we definitely can acknowledge fathers. Because I think we acknowledge mothers on Mother's Day, and I don't know if we posted anything and not acknowledged fathers on Father's Day. But there's an opportunity there. I don't know if any apps did that. I don't know. I didn't know if Instagram or TikTok dropped anything for fathers on Father's Day, which is kind of how out of sight, out of mind it is. But I'll think about that. If someone that isn't a father, I need to consider that as well, because I'm like, okay, I'm looking at fatherhood in the near future, hopefully. So we'll figure that out. But I'm glad you asked that question, because I just don't want to do anything like, oh, we just post a little post that says Happy Father's Day, but it
Yeah,
might
I
be.
think it should definitely be a call out to, hey guys, let's highlight your dads, leading up. But the reason I say that is because one, Nick, I think this is a great call. I love getting on here when we have them, but I think taking action when we leave for those it can apply to ends up allowing us to have a greater impact because I mean we even had the call about Atlanta and marketing in Atlanta. Most of us or a portion of us live here in Atlanta. I think as we start to look at the seats we hold, the things we own, the things we're a part of, some of these calls can actually turn into where we can be a part of the shift that we're talking about.
Yes, indeed.
Totally agree. Totally agree. I actually started making some strides after we got off that particular call that you just referenced, the Atlanta call, because I was like, yo, we actually did come up with some amazing ideas on that call. So to that point, I agree. And to Isaac's point, like when we start talking about like like you said, just making a random Father's Day post, it's kind of like what I see with Juneteenth, right? It's like, okay, happy Juneteenth, and then everybody just kind of moves on. I don't think you want it to be, just empty and hollow. You want it to be a thing, right? So there is something. What's the cool thing that we can do to make Father's Day cool?
Agreed.
Absolutely.
Darlene, welcome to the stage. How's your morning going? What would you like to add to the conversation?
Oh, well, good morning, Isaac. Kings. I address all black men as kings because that's who you are.
Thank you.
Thank
And
you.
and I'm gonna let's put Father's Day in perspective. Number one, it's not a holiday, nor is Mother's Day. That's pagan. Father's Day, in my eyes, and how I represent it, is through appreciation and respect. I can't speak for anyone else, but in my house, in my village, when they get up in the morning, all their favorite snacks and stuff are laid out all day. Even if you tick me off that day, I'm gonna let it slide that day because you got a lot of crap that you got to put up with every day. So you don't need me to spoil the one day of representation that is for you. Um, and when we go out, we're going out where they want to go out. And the buying of the gifts, Father's Day is coming. One of the most expensive gifts that I bought for my husband was Raider season tickets. Why? Because he's a die-hard Raider fan. Did it cost money? Oh yeah, but they were on the 50-yard line also.
Did he have to ask?
No,
Woo,
he didn't ask.
that's a
I
good
know what
gift.
he likes.
Darlene show that love. There you go, Darlene. I like that.
And he
Shout
ain't
out, Darlene.
Hey, you
Thank
got to do what you got to do, and yeah, and the flower thing. No, I don't send him flowers, but I did send him flowers and the little fruits that they delivered. Send him to his job. Every man in that building want to know how'd you get that.
Did he have to ask for that?
No.
Darlene hit him with
Ooh,
the Raiders tickets and edible arrangements. Oh,
yes, sir.
Ain't he?
Yes, sir. You
He
got
had
to get
Amen.
some brownie points too.
Pop
who
it,
we
pop it, Darlene, pop it.
up
So
in.
you throw a foot rub in there, it's perfect.
no, we ain't doing that. I'll get you a foot fixer.
Oh, thank you for that, Darlene. We
You're
appreciate it.
welcome.
All right. So Agent Buddha, welcome to the stage. Where are you calling from? What would you like to add to the conversation? Agent Buddha going once. Does your microphone work? Agent Buddha going twice. All right, we'll give you a second. Get yourself an avatar too. Figure out your microphone and add a picture for your avatar. We'll come back to you. All right, let's see. Here we
I
go.
added it in the chat, but I think it would be cool if the actual app would create a prompt for the day or for the week, actually, that just says, show us what you got your father for Father's Day.
Well, good morning. Tell us who you are. Tell us where you're calling from. I like your question.
Uh, and I haven't got a chance to join very often, but I did want to add that piece of, that thought or that suggestion for helping the app to get more engagement even.
Well, thank you for that. We appreciate it. And what did you say you were calling from? One more time.
Charlotte, North Carolina.
Oh, my MJ, we appreciate that. Thank you, Summer Rose. All right, let's get some more hands up. In the meantime, anyone on stage wanna go into a monologue? Let's see. Agent Buddha, how's your microphone doing? All right, still holding. All right, let's see who else we got here. All right, welcome to the stage. Tell us who you are and tell us where you're calling from. What would you like to add to the conversation?
What's going on, kings and queens? I'm newly here in the
He just
Atlanta
said
area.
king.
I just moved to the Atlanta area not too long ago. I'm from Virginia, and I agree with a little bit of everything everybody's saying, but most of these Hallmark holidays, they're created for women. And since we as men are used to courting our woman, even after in a relationship or whatnot, it's just we just used to courting our women. So most of these holidays are based on a woman's standpoint. And I believe there was the Queen Alita said something about communication. I think if we communicate more, we should be celebrated on a daily basis. And this speaking, I'm speaking from a single father aspect. Even that mother was celebrated on Mother's Day. So I feel what everybody is saying. But communication from the start, we should be celebrated every day.
Joyce, welcome to the conversation. Tell us where you're calling from. What would you like to add to the convo?
I am in Charlotte, newly moved to Charlotte. Hey, shout out to the Charlotte people. But I just want to say too, I think that I might have missed this because I just came into the conversation, but I think mental health awareness is a start too. You know, Father's Day, isn't this June, mental health? I think it's something to do with mental health month.
Men's Mental Health Month.
Oh,
Yeah. So I definitely think it needs to be incorporated. We definitely need that. And I'll go on mic.
That's real talk. We just had that guy commit suicide yesterday. Jumped off Spaghetti Junction here in Atlanta.
Yeah,
Yeesh.
Yeah,
that was wild. That was really
they were
sad.
trying to talk
And
him
that was
down for a long
Atlanta.
time too.
That
Yeah.
was awful.
All right. RIP to my guy. Yo, peace, Duran. Welcome. Happy belated Father's Day. Kimberly, welcome to the stage. Tell us where you're calling from. What would you like to add to the conversation? Kimberly, good morning.
Got to activate that mic.
All right, we'll give you a few minutes.
I
Oscar.
think in the meantime, just while we're waiting on somebody there, one of the things is that men have a lot of times they have a guilt over thinking about asking for certain things.
Yeah.
Like, you know, maybe you're in a hobby and I'm not into it, but you know, maybe you're into RC planes or maybe you're into, you know, some type of hobby, you know, that is selfish and just about you and nobody in the family cares about or does anything. A person, the men are going to feel guilty about asking for something like that because Father's Day, I think for a father is perceived as, you know, something where the family is involved, where somehow Mother's Day, even though it's still a family thing, it can be solely about her. And where a father, I think, perceives it more about, I got to do something together with the family because the only reason I have Father's Day is because I have a family.
Agreed. Oscar. Good morning.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Life is good. Tell us where you're calling from. What would you like to add to the conversation?
I'm calling from Ohio.
Ohio.
Yeah, all I would say is that I agree with the previous lady that spoke when she said that she surprised her husband without, and when you asked the question, did he ask to ask for it? She said no. I believe that some of the ladies, they don't really love us unconditionally for real. Because if you do love somebody, They don't have to ask you for certain things. You will know if you pay enough attention to them. It doesn't have to ask you, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. It's gonna be automatically. I'm talking from experience. I have my ex-wife. I didn't know she knows how to do certain things until I caught her talking to her boyfriend. I find out how much she knows. She knows how to do everything, but when it comes to me, she never does it. So I think that if you find somebody, if you find a woman that love you, you want the ladder, you won't have to worry about anything. All these little things, she will take care of them. And most importantly, a man, we want, we cannot say it, but we want to know if we're doing a good job. I know they say, man, you gotta know, but no, every woman is different. We wanna hear thank you for doing this, thank you for doing that, even though it's our job. But we want that reconnection, recognition. That's really good. So yeah, so that's what I wanted to add.
Can you hear Kimberly
Okay.
now?
Let me give him the number one father rule. It's unfortunate, but it's a fact. So it's 3 stages the father goes through. Some of you all probably heard this. The first stage is he's idolized. That's when they're babies, their kid. My 3-year-old daughter is going through that. Literally, I can't go anywhere. Ride with daddy. Go with daddy in the car. Daddy, 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 daddy. It reminds me of my daughter that's now 20 years of age, how she was 20 years ago. So the first stage is they're idolized. Then the second stage is they're demonized. This is that teenager stage. Like I'm kind of going through it with my daughter that's 20. She doesn't want any assistance. She want to do everything on her own. If things aren't done at the exact time that she wanted, then she have opposition to a lot of stuff. And I went through it with my other daughter that's 19 and my son as well. And the last stage is they're humanized. This is the stage when you're older and your kids have contacts and they always want to be around you and want to take care of you because they know that your life is coming to an end. So that's the unfortunate part. I mean, I get it. Dads want recognition. I was raised a different way in Detroit. Maybe it's some trauma added in there. Who knows? Maybe I think about it one day, maybe I don't. But the whole idea of me needing to be celebrated on the day, I mean, I just don't think about it, to be honest with you. My kids, they called me yesterday. They talked to me, but that's not my job to actually look for celebration. And first and foremost, it's eight of them. Well, one on the way in October, so I don't even have enough time to think about being celebrated. It's too many of them. But yes, you idolize. Somebody has their mic off doing the Jeezy ad libs. Yeah, so you're idolized, you're demonized, and then you're humanized. And again, that's not like a set rule, but that's the going thinking. I was told that from OGs when I had my first child, and I seen it with my uncles, and I'm not saying it's a good thing, but it happens. So keep that in mind, fellas. I'm going on mute.
Thank you for that, my good brother. Kimberly, how are we doing with your microphone?
I think I figured it out. I hadn't opened it up in my settings. So I'm Kimberly. I'm from Columbus, Ohio. And just one of the things I want to say is if we want Black excellence, then we have to create the narrative for ourselves. We have to begin to celebrate locally in our own communities, our everyday accomplishments and resilience from Black men to Black women. I'm a part of a sorority, and one of the ideals that you all made me think about today is how do we celebrate the Black men in our community and utilize those resources that from these celebrations to support Black male health and initiatives in the community. So as Black women, if we want to see it happen, we have to make it happen. As Black men, we have to make it happen. We don't want to listen to the narrative that's out there. We need to start pushing our own.
Agreed. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Yes, ma'am. Coach, good morning. Welcome back.
Good morning. I'm calling from California. So let me say off top, I definitely agree that fathers should be celebrated. In terms of marketing, I think one of the things that we're always going to run up against is that mothers are marketed visually from the time they start carrying a baby because you physically see their bodies conform, contort. We know about maternal health, and that in itself is embedded in the psyche. That's a marketing right there. So Whereas men, it's like we know you carry something in your loins, but we don't get to see what it looks like for lack of a better thing. And I think that psychology is always going to bump up against the marketing of Father's Day. So I don't think you're ever going to be able to it's never going to be celebrated at the momentum that Mother's Day is. I definitely think it should be acknowledged. I think the girl dad thing was an excellent thing. I also think when Nick was like, I don't know why other people didn't jump on it, it was probably too soon, and people would have probably thought it was tone deaf if people tried to capitalize on that, since it was a result of Kobe's death. But I do think that there's a time now that we can leverage that. But again, in terms of marketing Mother's Day, when you see on Instagram, women's bodies, how they literally like conform with triplets, all those things, that's a marketing right there that is permanently embedded in anybody's mind. So when you think of a mother, that's an image that comes up. They're literally risking their lives. And so for that reason, I think there's always going to be a difference, but I definitely think fathers should be celebrated in Father's Day.
And
Didn't Old Spice and some of those companies didn't they have marketing campaigns back in the day? Like father, help the father smell good on Father's Day. I don't see any of that stuff anymore. It was a few companies that had a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
You got Oscar on stage, Gary.
yeah. Oscar, good morning. Tell us where you're calling from. What would you like to add to the conversation?
Hey, good morning. I had to figure out how to turn this mic on. Calling from Raleigh, North Carolina. Good morning to everybody. Just had a conversation with my girlfriend about this yesterday, sitting at the table. And it's just like what we were talking about is we actually seen a post from a mother during Mother's Day. You know what I'm saying? Like that she just wanted to celebrate. She wanted to celebrate how she wanted to celebrate. Like it didn't matter if you don't want to be with the kids, you don't have to, or just whatever she wanted. And I was saying, it's the same thing with fathers, like whatever we want to do, right? So,
Right.
but at the same time, when before we had that conversation, before Mother's Day came, I was asking her, what does she want to do? What I'm saying, did she want to do anything? I think with fathers, we don't even get that type of questioning, or if somebody wants to say, we don't get that type of respect and that access to even ask us, what do we want? You know what I'm saying? And so, like leading up to Father's Day, leading up to Mother's Day, I was asking, and she told me what she wanted. She didn't want to do anything. She wanted to stay in the bed all day. You know what I'm saying? So, and that was fine with me. I had, was going to make plans, but what she wanted to do was what she wanted to do. Now, when it came after Mother's Day was over, of course, I'm sitting there, kind of waiting to see if she's going to even give that same respect to me to say, well, do you want to do anything? You know what I'm saying? And none of that ever came. You know what I'm saying? I have 2 kids. One is 28. She's in the Navy. She's not here, but I expect a phone call here and there because that's what she's just been doing every year. And my youngest daughter is 12. And she gets gifts. You know what I'm saying? But her grandparents put that on her. You know what I'm saying? They talk that into her. Like, make sure that you celebrate your father just like you celebrate your mother. When it came to my girlfriend, it was just like I didn't hear anything. Not a word, not a peep, not anything. 3 days before, I'm an artist. So because I hadn't heard anything and I didn't have any plans with my daughter because she was going out with her grandfather, which was cool, I got booked for a show yesterday. And the only reason that I took it was because of the fact that nothing was expressed to me like, let's do something, or I'm thinking about doing something. Even if it's a surprise, you don't have to tell me what it is, but express the fact that, you know what I'm saying, well, look, don't plan anything that day, or I was just checking to see if, you know what I'm saying, like I heard nothing, you know what I'm saying? So I ended up spending yesterday going to church, you know what I'm saying, and then by myself for the rest of the day. And then when she came over and she actually had a gift, she told me that she had bought gifts or whatever. But we sat at the table and it's almost like she was upset with me because I got booked for a show and I booked this show on Father's Day. And she was like, well, I had a surprise. You know what I'm saying? It's like, but when I told you that I had the show, you didn't even express to me that, well, you know what? Oh man, I was going to surprise you with something. because I would have canceled Michelle. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the type of person I am. And I
Yeah.
mean, you tell me that you want to do something. If you express that for us, you know what I'm saying? Like give us that chance. And I don't think we're given that chance at all.
Yeah.
And we talk about culturally, especially, in the black community, but I hear the cultural thing, but I'm also thinking like as an individual. Like, we make a lot of stuff about the culture, but how does the individual feel? You know what I'm saying? Like I get that in the black culture, you know what I'm saying?
I would
It's
say
not the thing to do.
me.
But at the same time, as a man, as a person, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I would like to go to dinner sometime. You don't have to buy me fly. Whatever you want to. It's more so the thought that counts so much more than the actual gift in the present. Like because a man is doing so much throughout the year, and he feels like that is so much put on his shoulders, and there's so much stress and doing all this.
Agreed.
To take some time out to just say
Agreed.
and ask, you know what I'm saying? What do you want, or can I do something for you? Even if the man says no,
All right.
like just give us that.
All right. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, bro. Because I could tell you're hurt, so I gave you like 1,000 hearts. You know what I'm saying? So, goddamn,
Appreciate it.
everybody give this man. He poured his heart out, and we appreciate that. That was, I believe, that was the last call of the day. Nick, if you want to close it out, that was amazing. And give him some more loves though, because shit. All right, Nick is probably at work. Isaac's probably at work. And listen, we appreciate y'all's appreciation, but we would appreciate it without having to ask for it. I think we're gonna go ahead and close it out on that. Next Monday, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern, with Nick Love, Isaac Hayes the third. Around fan base exclusively. Peace out. Love y'all.
Appreciate the dads.
Appreciate the dads. Thanks for that, Oscar.
Yeah, you're welcome. Take care.
Hell yeah.
All right. Another episode. Monday morning marketing. Nick Love wasn't there today. Okay, I see it. Well, I was glad to be able to get up and put my little 2 cents in, right? It's always a good time for mental health awareness. Let's focus on that. And to be honest, Father's Day, Mother's Day, all of those days, well, let's focus on us and our mental state. With that being said, happy Monday, June 16th, and I'm out.